She received a text the next day and the guy said, I was expecting to date the woman from the photos. Happy to casually stay in touch until the weight is gone. And then we can see. The 45-year-old financer wrote to her.
Yo.
People look different in their pictures than they do in person. And, this one New York dater, he decided to leave a review to the girl he went out with, man. This one 34-year-old New York City woman recently went out on a first date with a man she met on the dating app Hinge, only to receive an outrageous text the next morning rating her looks and commenting on her weight. She received a text the next day and the guy said, I was expecting to date the woman from the photos. Happy to casually stay in touch until the weight is gone. And then we can see. The 45-year-old financer wrote to her.
Yo.
This man rated her face, personality, and sexual compatibility on a scale of 1 to 10, giving her personality a 10, her face a 10, and sexual compatibility a 5. But he says, they can get that up to an 8.5 with some convincing and open-mindedness, In the first 5 minutes of their date, he did tell her that he was 7 figures in debt, and that's why he wanted a woman who was financially independent. Now, 7 figures in debt.
Yo. He got the nerve to talk about weight? That shit is like a millstone around his neck. $1 million plus in debt is nuts.
He was honest though, but she was, I think she thinks that he texted her this because she really wasn't totally into him. Like she said, throughout the day, he kept telling her how beautiful she was, and he was even playing with her hair. But she didn't sleep with him, so I think he was a little bit upset at that. That's why he sent out the text. She was like, she didn't really see herself going out with him again before he sent the text. She was like, God, she doesn't care about your look, but she does care about values. Mm-hmm. And she was like, she values herself too much to respond to that text message. But what did you think about his text message to her? I mean, it sounds like this guy has a whole lot going on.
Dude, the rest of this article, it talks about how he tells her that he'd beaten cancer, and then he followed up by asking her if she'd consider a threesome. Then he said that he was talking about like how he bought all this furniture at Restoration Hardware, and then showed her like the before and after pictures of his apartment, told her how much he pays his monthly for his apartment.
Oh my God.
Then he kept telling her how beautiful she was. This is all prior to him sending that text about losing weight and playing with her hair. Like, this dude is on some other shit. And I can see why he's 45 and $1 million+ in debt and looking.
Yeah, he's looking. He's being honest. He's throwing everything at the wall. I would never talk about any of that stuff on a first date. But hey, it seems like he kept her entertained. But, I don't know. I feel like, this guy is clearly an egomaniac. I think it is good that he was so open and honest with her. So she knew what she was getting into. She wanted to decide to continue with him. I feel like he was pretty bitter, but I feel like the ratings he gave her were pretty nice. He gave her a 10 for her face and personality. I don't think anyone wants to be rated. If anyone texted me their rating of me after a date with them, I'm not responding to them either. Like, do you think that his approach works? Because I don't know, he seems pretty confident.
I don't think so. I think some people, they're just not self-aware, and at a certain point, like, you're 45 years old, the person that you are is who you're going to be unless you really make a concerted effort to change. And this does not sound like a person who wants to make a concerted effort to change.
Nah. He said if she's open-minded, they can move that to an 8.5. The sexual compatibility. I guess she wasn't into the threesome when he brought it up on the first date. I don't know.
I guess so. But, I mean, either way, she said that, for her, it wasn't going to happen. She didn't want to see him again anyway because she doesn't really care about looks. She cares about values, and clearly his values were a mismatch for her and probably most other people.
Yeah, but she obviously doesn't care about looks because her pictures are outdated. So she should update those. You should have some recent pictures on your dating profile when you're meeting up with someone, but that doesn't excuse his rude behavior. I think she handled it well. And now she has a good story to tell. I mean, it could have ended a lot worse. I think it was good that he was so upfront with being an asshole. I do wonder. I feel like this has to work on some people, though. Those furniture pictures have to work on some girls. I don't know.
I mean, there's plenty of women that like assholes.
That's true.
So I'm sure it does work.
Yeah.
And I mean, if he's in finance, lives in New York, even if he is in debt, he's probably still making it work somehow.
Yeah.
Who knows how much money he actually makes? Like if you're that much in debt, who knows? Maybe he makes like $2 million a year.
Yeah.
And he could get right back into it in like a couple years. Like, I don't know. People in New York, they come in all shapes and sizes and all different types of bank accounts.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. That text is crazy, especially him breaking it down like that. Like he clearly thinks everything is like negotiable, and he
That's
tries
finance for you though.
100%, man. That's some crazy shit. I think she dodged a bullet and got a good story from it, but people have different standards when it comes to dating.
This place they went to, Ascent Lounge in Columbus Circle. Have you heard of that?
No, I never heard of it.
I'm looking now.
Yeah.
Looks pretty nice.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it was a nice environment. He was expecting to get laid, which didn't work out for him.
Shit, I might have to go here. I don't usually go up to that Columbus Circle area too much to go out, but got some nice shit over there.
Yeah, let us know how it is, man.
Oh, no, this is $3 signs. That's a nice date night.
Yeah, man. He works in finance. He has his standards that he made clear.
Mm-hmm.
This truck driver called into a radio show, and he had his own set of standards, man. This guy Jason.
Oh man, this is a really really funny story. I tried to find the video for this on the who is it, Jackie O and somebody else on their show, but I could not find it. I was upset.
Damn. Yeah, because there were some good quotes, man.
Yeah.
But this truck driver, they were asking him his standards for dating, and he says, I'm not interested in a girl with a high body count that is proud of it, he explained.
Mm-hmm.
He then revealed that he is a man with standards and that he hates although he hates brothels, he does like, getting a massage and getting a rub and tug here and there. He explained that it's one of his favorite things and that he doesn't see anything sexual about getting a rub and tug. Naturally, this comment makes zero sense, they said in the article, but let's not dwell on that. He says it's just a job to them, like an extra service. He also explained that although he didn't want his female partner swearing, he was partial to saying a few naughty words. He says, I'm a truck driver. We're all professional swearers. At this point, all the women who were calling in had hung up. They were disgusted by him. But one lady named Kate, she said she was attracted to his honesty. So there are women out there who like this, man. What did you agree with some of his standards? How do you feel about Jason?
Listen, I mean, the guy is a pure comedian. Before he even got into some of this stuff, he let him know right off the bat. He was like, listen, I've cheated on the mother of my child before we get started. So I just want to make that clear. And then he went on to talk about some of this stuff. He talked to two women, and likely because, they didn't like his standards and his way of viewing a relationship with women, about like the number of sexual partners and their weight and how they're judged and stuff. They got off the phone and he was like, well, we've weeded out 2 tarts, so that's good.
2 tarts. Damn.
No, this guy is different. This guy is really different. I'm so upset I couldn't find the video. But I mean, listen, for the high body count thing, I think at a certain point, I think I've talked about this before. I don't even ask. Like, I don't want to know. I really don't. Because if I find out and it's a high number, then that's like, it's an immediate turnoff. But at the same time, I don't want a number too low because it's like, what are you able to do? Like, what do you have? Name your qualifications. Like,
Show me your resume. Show me the Carfax.
Exactly. We got to do a practice run first before you get drafted. Like, it's just you.
I mean, you always got to do a practice run, at least for me. But yeah, I understand what he said. Like, he says, I'm not interested in a girl with a high body count that is proud of it. So I think the proud of it part is what stood out for me because I agree with that. Although I don't ever bring that up. That's just something I would never talk about. I have had multiple partners of mine tell me, their body count. It's always, when they tell me, it's always very low. And I believe them because it's not like I ask. But J. Cole gave us a math on that.
He did.
But personally, him talking about not liking brothels, but getting rub and tugs. I think him being honest is a good quality because, hey, he's putting all his cards out on the table, even if he contradicts himself. Mm-hmm. But I like a woman who curses, personally. I'm from Jersey. I feel like Jersey girls curse a lot. I'd like to know that you can go that far. I curse a lot in my personal life. That's actually a turn on for me in certain situations. Not like, I don't want anyone who,
situational. Yeah. I mean, it's been scientifically proven that if you curse in the workplace, you're viewed as more reliable. But I think with the cursing thing, I'm okay with it around me as long as you can curse appropriately, if that makes sense.
What does that mean? Give an example.
You can't curse weird. Like, there's people that don't know how to curse.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I can't even give you an example because I don't think that I curse weird, but I don't know. Yeah. The other thing is I don't really like cursing around kids.
See, I'm not aware. I'm not around kids enough, so I find myself cursing in bad
I've done it before too, and then I catch myself oh. But
get out of here, you little fucker! I'm sorry.
No, that no. But if a kid is playing around right now while we're recording and I'm cursing, I'm gonna be like, oh snap, my bad.
I'm gonna be like, get the fuck out of here, kid. You're not supposed to be here.
Hey, I heard a little Jersey accent come out there too.
Yo, Troy, what did you take by this? Do you agree, disagree with Jason's standards?
No, Jason, he's very entertaining, and I do like his honesty, but I don't agree with, I don't think, anything he says. He's wild.
Yeah, he's definitely
a truck driver.
Yeah.
They're culturally different. Mm-hmm. They be out on the roads. They, what they call the prostitutes out on the truck stops?
No.
They're called lot lizards.
Yes, I have heard that before.
Yeah, it's a different lifestyle. Subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on Spotify, follow on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok.
All the apps. We're everywhere. We are everywhere.